Hey guys, how's it going? Keith Busher here. Happy Canada Day from all the way up here in Canada. Happy July 4th and early July 4th to all our American friends down there. I understand that we want to start doing some tutorials and stuff like that, so I figured that maybe I would get a jump start on it and kind of show you guys some stuff just as a little bit of a jump ahead teaser. I've never done this before. I'm recording these, and I don't know how to edit, so these may be a little weird, a little choppy, a little odd. I'm here in my studio, as you can see. We got a few figurines kicking around for inspiration. I thought that I would start by showing you guys the product that I like to use, which is called Epoxy Sculpt. It's by a company called Abe's. It's a two-part epoxy. I'll show you a picture here. Not great, a little bit shaky. So it's a two-part epoxy. It comes in multiple colors. You can get it like straight white, you can get it pink, you can get it green, blue, black. The natural color I think is a grayish color. Um, Really easy to sand, paint, and everything once it sets. It's got a working time of about an hour. When you first mix the two together, it's a one-to-one mix. Once you work it together, it's really soft, almost like a Play-Doh consistency. Holds together a little bit better than Play-Doh, like a plasticine, a warm plasticine consistency for about 15 to 20 minutes. After that, it will start to go off. It'll get a little bit harder. And at that point, you can really start adding some pretty cool, really significant, like finer details into it. To give you guys a heads up as to kind of my next big project and what I'm building, I thought I would show you a little bit of it and see what you guys think. So I was out thrift shopping and I found a couple of wall sconces. So they were pretty basic wall sconces. Um, Sorry, hold on one second. And I like horror. I like scary things. So I decided that they would make pretty cool, scary horror wall sconces. So I'm just taking some skulls off so you can see what it looked like before. So here's what it looked like when I bought it. As you can see, it's pretty much a basic wall sconce. Goes on the wall, candle goes in there. There's a spot for glass. I may cut that out. But here's my idea and kind of what I wanted to do. I got two of them, so I started one, so you can kind of get an idea of where we're going, so that as I explain it as we're going along, it might make a little bit more sense. So this is the one that I started tonight. I've just basically gotten into the first couple of steps of it, but this is what it's you'll get an idea of what it's going to look like when it's done based off of this. So here we go. So going off of that plastic skull Halloween idea, I've got a whole box of the Halloween plastic skulls. I'm basically just going to stack 3 skulls on it, and I'm going to skin them and make it look like basically the sconce has gone through the 3 heads. And there will be some blood and some gore, because that's what I do. And it'll be kind of monstrous. So you saw the original sconce. These, I have 2 different size skulls. This is one of them. It has a moving jaw. And I have smaller ones that don't have moving jaws. I get them at a store here in Canada called Michael's. It's like a craft store. I think you guys, I can't remember the name of the store that you guys have down there. I was in there when I visited Florida a few months ago. Hobby Lobby, that's it. You can buy them online, I think. There are bags of them. You know, you buy 10 in a bag or something like that. And it's a good, cheap way to kind of get a hold of them if you need them. I usually wait until like the day after Halloween when everything's on sale and try and get them that way, but sometimes you're too late. So if you want and you like it and you really want to use it, it's probably better you buy it ahead of time. So anyway, so for the bigger skull, which is around the top piece here, It's kind of around this bigger ball, as you see here. The sconce doesn't slide right over it, so I had to make some modifications. I had to cut the back off the skull. I cut the inside out of his mouth and everything like that, and that way it should be able to fit over the ball. Oh, this is terrible. Kind of like that. Now the smaller skulls, I cut a hole in the top, and I cut a hole, I sliced, just did like a 4 slice, I don't know if you can see it, in the bottom there, so that, I'm going to try and stand this up so you can see. Sorry if this doesn't work. So the plan is basically to just stick this right through. The plastic's kind of malleable. You want it to be kind of snug so that it's not moving around too much on you while you're trying to work. So there you go. And then the bottom one goes on. Boom. And then ultimately I'm going to stick this one on here like this. Now the epoxy sculpt takes about 24 hours for it to harden completely. Like, you can use it, maybe, like, you can work around it after a couple of hours, and it shouldn't like bend too much. It will still move, or if you're resting on it like with your thumb while you're holding something, it will leave an imprint, so you have to be aware of that. Ultimately, if you want it to be rock hard, and I've built foosball players that have lasted 7 months that still haven't broken. Actually, I've had that foosball table for 3 years, and people use it at Comic-Cons and that sort of thing, and these pieces haven't broke yet. So if you want it to get to that hard, that takes about 24 hours. So the number one trick that I can suggest to you guys is learning to have tons of patience. Get multiple projects going at once. I know it's really hard because I have a hard time. I really like to sink my teeth into something. I get really excited about something, and I want to get it done, and I want to push through and make it perfect. But I've had to teach myself basically that that's not the way to go about doing things. So usually I'll have about 3 projects on the go, 3 or 4 projects on the go, and that generally gives me enough time to work with one. Then I can put it aside, work on the other 2. By the time I'm done the other 2, if I'm careful, I can pick up the first one again and start working on that again. So with the skulls, I can show you here basically what I started. What I wanted to do was ensure that they're attached to the sconce so that if I come back tomorrow, they're solid. I can start really adding a lot more clay and not worrying about them moving around, twisting, or falling off or anything like that. So what I've done is I've kind of added the neck skin on these by mixing the clay together, adding in neck clay. I'll add some more details and stuff like that when I start doing paint and stuff. And this one, because I cut the back off it, what I did was I put a little bit of clay on the inside and sandwiched it in there, and then made another piece of clay that went around the back. Now when this dries after a day, it'll be rock solid, and I can skin the whole entire skull pretty much, and I don't have to worry about it. While I was waiting for the neck skin to dry and stuff, I started making my own teeth because I don't like the plastic teeth and how they look. So I used a little bit of the white clay. That's hard to focus on that, but I used a little bit of the white clay, kind of made it into like a little snake, put it across. Then I used something like this to make the teeth and separate them. I can show you. I'll show you on my next video more how I do teeth, because I'll show you kind of process on the other piece. I just kind of wanted to give you guys an idea of where we're going and what we're doing. I also added the eyes on the 2 little skulls so that later on I can add eyelids and creepy things and stuff like that. So that's a start. This is a 10-minute video. If you made it through this, then good for you. Awesome. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it works. I will be doing more videos as I go along and letting you guys know how I do it. Please let me know if this is too monotone, if this is too boring, if this is not what you're looking for at all, and I'll stop making them for you and I'll stop boring the hell out of you. Other than that, keep thrifting. It's fun. It's awesome. It's a great way to keep stuff out of the garbage. It's a fun way, an inexpensive way to build and create and make a little income on the side if you get really good at it. And yeah, all right. So I will try and post videos when I can. I can't promise daily, weekly, anything. Life gets in the way. I do work a 9 to 5 and all that fun stuff. But once again, I hope you had a nice, safe, happy Canada Day. And I hope you have a great 4th of July and have a great night. Bye, guys.